Okay, I'm biased, but I think observable notebooks are a pretty sweet environment for prototyping and playing around with code, data, visualizations, and lots more stuff. But once I've made the beautiful interactive notebook of my dreams, how can I share my amazing creation with the rest of the world? Let's take a look at how we can take our work public and show off the awesome content we've made, not just on Observable, but also on other websites and environments. If I want to quickly get some more eyeballs on my beautiful notebook, I don't even have to leave Observable. I can take advantage of the platform's sharing and publishing features. By default, new notebooks I create are private and only visible to me. I can tell from the little lock icon on the top of the notebook. If I try to access this notebook and I'm not logged in, like for example in a private browser window, I won't be able to see it. Sometimes I might want to share my notebook with just one or two people without publishing it for the whole world to see. That's where link sharing comes in super handy. In the notebook menu, these three dots at the top of the page, I can select the Enable Link Sharing option. Now, at the top of the page, I can see my notebook is no longer private, but shared, which essentially means that it's in kind of an unlisted state. Anyone who knows the unique URL can access it, as I can see over in my private browser window again, but it's not displayed on my user page or discoverable in search results. So now that my notebook is shared, I can copy the URL and send it to all my trusted confidants to show them my masterpiece. And if they're logged in too, they can even leave me comments and send suggestions. But at a certain point, I might realize that it would just be cruel to keep my fantastic notebook a secret. That's when it's time to publish it for the whole world to see. When I'm ready to grace the world with my notebook's presence, I can click the Publish button at the top of the page. Or if I've already shared the notebook, I can use the Notebook menu to find the Publish option. Now at the top of the page, I see the notebook is published, and it also has a nice human-readable URL, aka slug, based on the notebook's title. Keep in mind that we pull the title from the level 1 header in the first cell. Now, not only can other folks find my notebook by going to the human-readable URL, it'll also be visible to others on my user page. Now, once I've published or shared a notebook, the world will see whatever it looked like when I first hit that publish or share button. If I make any changes after that, they'll be private to just me until I republish or reshare by hitting the button one more time. If the button is gray, that means the public version is up to date. If it's blue, that means I've got unshared or unpublished changes. If I've made some changes since publishing, but in the end I decide that I don't really want to keep them, I can go to the Notebook menu and select the Revert option to roll back to the last published version, for those times when past me just totally nailed it. Okay, so sharing or publishing a notebook lets me show others what I've made, but that still requires them to go to Observable's site. Sometimes I might want to just paste a graphic somewhere or showcase my rad visualization on my own website. That's where downloading and embedding cells comes in. To quickly pull a single graphic out of my notebook, like an SVG chart or a canvas drawing or other visual element like my awesome swirly map here, I can go to the Cell menu, the three dots to the left, and depending on the content, I'll see an option to download a PNG or an SVG. Once I've got that file, I can email it to my boss, text it to my boo, post it to my Insta, or whatever. I can also download data right out of a cell too. For data cells, in the same cell menu, I'll see options to download the data as JSON or CSV file. And once I've got that, I can work with it locally. If I want to embed my content on another web page, I can use the Embed Code option in the cell menu. That will let me copy the HTML snippet with the source code of my cell, including the observable runtime code that powers it. Once I've got that HTML snippet, I can paste it into the web page of my choosing. For example, I could drop it into the HTML of a project on CodePen or Code Sandbox or a similar site. Ooh. Really, I can drop it into whatever site I want, like this little HTML page hosted on GitHub Pages. And as we've already seen, even animated and interactive cells still work. Observable's runtime powers the functionality that I'm used to, even outside of Observable. Now, one thing to note is that the download and embed options in the cell menu will only appear on named cells. So if I don't see those options, where did my embed code option go? I can look at the cell's source code, and if it doesn't have a name, give it one, and then I should see the options appear. Now, those download and embed options in the cell menu work great when all I need is a single cell. But what if I want to embed multiple cells from a notebook all at once? For example, if I have some view of input cells that allow folks to interact with my beautiful visualization, I probably want to embed those along with the actual graphic. In that case, I can use my teammate Jeremy's handy embed code generator to enter the path to my notebook, select the cells I want to include, and then copy the HTML snippet I need. Once I've got that snippet, I can paste it into the page of my choice. Et voila! A fully interactive, beautiful visualization embedded in the page of my choosing. Now, for more complex web projects, I might need to integrate my notebook code into an existing JavaScript codebase. That's doable too. I can actually download my entire notebook as an importable ES module. In the notebook menu at the top of the page, I have the option to download code. This will compile the notebook into a zip archive with everything needed to run it, including my own code, any imported code from other notebooks, and the observable runtime that makes it all work. Now, if you're confused about what all is in this archive and how it all works, well, you are in good company, my friend, because me too. Luckily, my colleague Toph Tucker wrote a really awesome explanation of everything that you'll find in the downloaded archive and how it all works to power your notebook code. Now, if my notebook is published or shared, I can actually even skip the step of downloading the zip archive. If I right-click the download code option in the notebook menu, and then copy the link location, I'll get a URL that I can use to install the module with a package manager like npm or yarn. Now, keep in mind, I'll also need to install the Observable HQ runtime package alongside it in order for that code to be able to run. Okay, so once I've got the code downloaded or installed through my package manager, I can begin working it into my code base. For more details on how to do that, check out the explanation and examples in Downloading and Embedding Notebooks. If you're trying to embed observable code into a React project, you'll need to make sure that React and Observable's respective reactive updates play nicely together. Luckily, we have a notebook all about how to embed a notebook in a React app that explains how you can do that. So there you have it. Tons of options for different ways we can share and publish our code both in and outside of the Observable platform. And we're hard at work on making it even easier to embed your code on external sites, so stay tuned for some exciting improvements coming soon.